I'm separated, still living in the same house with my soon to be ex, and I just watched him say something I've been waiting 16 years to hear and then undo it the very next morning. There is a whole generation of men who are growing in age, but emotionally stuck at 22. They look grown, they find a wife, they raise kids, but emotionally, maybe they're still in that little bachelor apartment eating pizza rolls and thinking deep thought means changing the Netflix profile photo. They never built an identity outside of the vices they use to escape. The regular drinking, the constant haze, the gaming marathons that somehow start after dinner and end at sunrise. So I've heard. The scrolling, like it's a full-time job. No one ever required that level of self-work from them. And they sure never volunteered to learn how. And that has been my reality, just like so many other women. And just to be clear, I'm not sitting around hoping he'll change for me. We are divorcing, period. My piece has already packed her bags and moved into her new place mentally. But when you share a life with someone for almost 20 years, and when you're raising kids together, you still want them to choose themselves, not for the relationship, not for the marriage, for their own growth, for these children who are watching everything, for the version of their life they're capable of, but refusing to walk toward. So the other night, we're talking, and he finally named something he's avoided his whole adult life. He said to me he doesn't really have an identity. He says he doesn't know who he is. And for him, that was huge. He don't talk like that. He doesn't reveal himself like that. This is a man who has difficulty naming what he wants to eat for dinner. But in that moment, I'm thinking, okay, all right now, if he can see that, maybe he can start seeing the rest of it. Maybe he can start seeing how much he's been numbing. Maybe he can start seeing how the smoking, the drinking, the checking out have become his identity instead of something he does occasionally to unwind, you know? And again, I don't need him to notice these things for me. I'm going to say that again. Not for the marriage, but for him. For his growth, for his life, for these kids who are watching him model adulthood like it's a group project he forgot he signed up for. So that was the hope. Not that he'd wake up a brand new person, just that he'd wake up a little more aware than he was the day before. And then the next day came, and baby, he slid right back into the same loop. And it wasn't out of defiance. It wasn't out of rebellion. He just genuinely does not see the connection between his habits and his unhappiness. He really believes the numbing has nothing to do with the stuckness. And that's the part that really just hurts to witness. Not from a romantic standpoint, but from a human one. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about him. This is a full-on cultural thing. So many men are reaching midlife with the emotional habits they had at 22. Numbing instead of noticing, escaping instead of evolving, using substances not for fun, but to silence the parts of themselves they don't want to face. And the wild part is that they really don't think it's connected. They don't see their coping is their cage. They don't see that their avoidance is why they feel empty. They don't see that the numbing is the reason they never grow. And for most of them, it's not like addiction. It's not that simple. I know for some of them it is, but ultimately it's arrested development. That's what arrested development means. It's emotional avoidance dressed up as I'm just chilling. But healing requires clarity. Clarity requires discomfort. And you cannot get clarity while staying sedated. You can be a healed man who smokes or drinks on occasion. I truly believe that. But you cannot heal while hiding from yourself. And that is what so many women are waking up to. The loneliness they feel at home is not random. It's the reality of living next to a man who never chose himself and who sadly might not know how. So if you want to go deeper and unpack more conversations just like this, join the Speakeasy. It's at the link in my bio.